It's time, my friends, for another Devo tip on the Gospel of Isaiah. Isaiah has some advice for the nations. When political alliances are part of the global game, it's vital to ask, will the nations work in partnership with God to implement His plan? Heaven's army is on standby. This is the plan determined for the whole world. This is the hand stretched out over all nations. For the Lord of heaven's armies has purposed, and who can thwart him? His hand is stretched out, and who can turn it back? Raymond Ortlund says, individuals are judged in eternity, but nations are judged in time. What should the nations be concerned about? Human trafficking. Do not rejoice, all you Philistines, who were known for doing that the rod that struck you is broken. From the root of that snake will spring up a viper. Its fruit will be a darting, venomous serpent. Yeah, nations like Philistia that engage in human trafficking will suffer judgment. But notice what Isaiah says. They'll suffer judgment from radical, more dangerous groups that follow regime changes. What else should the nations be concerned about? Arrogant insolence. What a shock. We have heard of the pride of Moab, of his arrogance, his pride, and his insolence. In his idle boasting, he is not right. Nations like Moab that repeatedly taunt and provoke lesser, more vulnerable nations will suffer judgment from unforeseen, unintended blowback. What else should the nations be concerned about? Idolizing the military. You run to the armory for your weapons, Israel and Syria, but you have forgotten the God of your salvation and have not remembered the rock of your refuge. Nations like Israel and Syria that rely solely on military power will fail when faced with overwhelming challenges that require divine intervention. What else should the nations be concerned about? Incompetent leaders. What fools are the officials? Their best counsel to the king of Egypt is stupid and wrong. Where are your wise counselors, Pharaoh? Let them tell you what God plans, what the Lord of heaven's armies is going to do. Nations like Egypt that retain incompetent officials will suffer judgment in the form of implosion. That's what it says in Isaiah 19, like civil unrest, confusion, and despair. What else should the nations be concerned about? Economic exploitation. Fallen, fallen is Babylon, and all her carved images of her gods he has shattered to the ground. Tyre's traders were all princes. Her merchants were nobles. The Lord of heaven's armies has done it to destroy your pride. Nations like Babylon and Tyre that idolize profit at the expense of countless lives will crash hard and fast. Yes, the Lord will judge the nations in time, and he is swift to do righteousness. That's Isaiah 16:5. And when his judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world learn righteousness, and that's the goal. Judgment paves the way for the nations to work in partnership with God to implement his plan. And Isaiah says it this way, and on that day, there will be a highway, all the way from Egypt to Assyria, no longer rivals. They'll worship together, Egyptians and Assyrians. And Israel will take its place alongside Egypt and Assyria, and the Lord will generously bless them all.